In a world driven by manipulation, betrayal, and hidden motives, your greatest threat isn't an external enemy, it's your own emotions. The longing to be loved, the fear of being alone, the desire to feel important, these are not virtues. According to Machiavelli, they are vulnerabilities. Emotional needs chain you to others' approval and allow them to control you. True power, as Machiavelli taught, comes not from compassion, but from clarity, detached, calculated, and unmoved. This Machiavellian philosophy is not for the kind-hearted or the sentimental. It's for those who aim to rule, not only others, but themselves. Emotions, when unchecked, become liabilities. They make you predictable, manipulable, and easy to betray. The moment people sense you care too much, they gain power over you. That's why emotional detachment is not cruelty, it's survival. To detach is to reclaim your autonomy, to control your reactions, and to protect your mind from the chaos of others. Machiavelli believed that the wise act immediately while the foolish delay. Fools, he warned, give their hearts away before securing their position. Rulers, survivors, and predators act with reason, not with raw feeling. Emotional detachment isn't about being heartless, it's about having the discipline to observe your emotions rather than be consumed by them. You still feel anger, desire, and pain, but you do not act on them impulsively. You respond with silence, with distance, with power. Once you detach, people reveal their true intentions. You start to see through patterns of manipulation. The friend who only calls when in need, the lover who disappears when you stop giving, the family member who uses guilt to control. These emotional dynamics only function when you care too much. When you become emotionally self-sufficient, their tactics lose effectiveness. You are no longer baited by affection, guilt, or fear of abandonment. Detachment, then, sharpens focus and clears perception. You stop reacting, you begin acting with intent. You're no longer vulnerable to emotional blackmail because you no longer fear loss. In fact, when you expect betrayal and disappointment, not as pessimism, but preparation, you can never be shaken. The world loses its grip on you because you've mastered the one thing it relies on to control you, your emotions. Machiavelli praised leaders like Cesare Borgia who didn't mourn betrayal, they eliminated it. Emotional attachment to allies, lovers, or even ideals can become a weakness if it clouds your judgment. Power demands the ability to cut ties without hesitation. Those who cling emotionally become paralyzed when it's time to act decisively. Most people are raised to believe that kindness is strength, that vulnerability is beautiful. But this belief, Machiavelli warned, is a tool to keep people obedient. Empires are not built on sentiment, they're built on strategy. The emotionally detached individual sees relationships as either strategic assets or liabilities. There is no neutral ground. Every bond either strengthens or weakens your position. This mindset requires radical unlearning. You must untrain your dependence on approval and affection. Begin by mastering your reactions. Pause when angry, test when in love, observe when in pain. Control before emotion controls you. Learn to give less of yourself and never explain your silence. Let people wonder what you're thinking. In that uncertainty lies your leverage. This level of detachment transforms you into a psychological force. You don't scream, beg, or chase. You vanish. You ascend. You don't need closure or explanations. Your silence becomes your weapon and your absence becomes your statement. You don't punish with retaliation, you punish with indifference. And yet, detachment does not mean isolation. You can collaborate, love, and lead, but always from a position of strength, not desperation. You choose people, you do not need them. That is the essence of emotional sovereignty. No one can guilt you into submission, seduce you into weakness, or shame you into reaction. You are the calm center in the storm of human drama, and that terrifies those who thrive on emotional control. The emotionally detached person cannot be baited, guilted, or owned. They are unpredictable, unreadable, and therefore untouchable. In every interaction, they hold the upper hand, not because they dominate aggressively, but because they remain unmoved. When people can't predict your reactions, they obsess over your silence, they crave your attention, and they fear your indifference. This is the Machiavellian mindset, ruling in silence, commanding through absence, and protecting your peace at all costs. You don't need to scream to show strength. You don't need to retaliate to prove control. Your lack of reaction becomes the loudest response. Your emotional detachment becomes your armor. And in a world that feeds off emotional chaos, that armor makes you unbreakable. Once you stop needing emotional validation, you become the architect of your own destiny. You don't chase, explain, or justify. You watch, wait, and choose. You act with discipline, love with caution, and lead with clarity. This is not emptiness, it is ultimate power. In the end, the only thing that can truly own you is your own unchecked emotion. Master that, and no one can ever own you again.